Surprise! It's Goat vs. Fish Thursdays. It's Goat vs. Fish. As expected. It's Goat vs. Fish with a new schedule. It's Goat vs. Fish morning motivational Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, 8 p.m. or somewhere around there because, well, Goat vs. Fish, we're trying to get the technology to work for Goat vs. Fish, and sometimes it can be a bit fancy. It's just Goat vs. Fish over here. It's just Goat vs. Fish. Have patience with Goat vs. Fish. Have patience with Goat vs. Fish. Have mercy on Goat vs. Fish. But Goat vs. Fish is really here again to give me my morning motivational yes. It's a surprise of Goat vs. Fish, for Goat vs. Fish is usually not here so early. Usually Goat vs. Fish has to ferment throughout the day and shows up lately on your interwebiverse live streams for your consumptions and entertainment. But now Goat vs. Fish is early. It's an expected surprise of Goat vs. Fish. The living stream is about to begin. Let's enjoy Thunder Tracks. Make some noise for the goat won the previous verses. But Fish is right behind, It's the one-of-a-kind streams of Goat vs. Fish. Stay versus. Are you goat or fish? Like, share, comment, subscribe. Join the Patreon of Goat vs. Fish. Do all those verses. And you just wait. The celebration is about to begin. It's Morning Motivations with Goat vs. Fish.
Make some noise for the goat. 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 Celebration Thunder Tracks. Welcome again to Goat vs. Fish. Welcome again to Goat vs. Fish. This shall be a mighty versus. This is the current versus. This is the verses. Are you goat or are you fish? Are you goat or are you fish? Are you goat or are you fish? Are you goat or are you goat? My fish. Are you goat or are you fish? Are you goat or are you fish? Are you goat or are you goat? Are you fish? Are you goat or are you fish? This is the verses. Are you goat or are you fish? 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 Goat or are you fish? Are you goat or are you fish? There shall be a mighty versus. some noise for the fish. Make some noise for the fish. Make some noise for the fish. See if you don't feel the skip. Make some noise for the fish. Make some noise for the fish. Make some noise for the fish. See if you don't feel the skip. Make some noise for the fish. See if you don't feel the skip. Make some noise for the fish. See if you don't feel the skip. Make some noise for the fish.
Do you be go? Do you be go? Do you be go? Do you be go? Do you be fish? Do you be fish? Do you be goat? Do you be goat? Do you be fish? Because the goats do be goat and the fish do be fish. Do you be goat or a fish? Don't sit on the fence. Well, goats are of the land and fish are of the sea. But goat versus fish, which one do you be? Do you be goat or a fish? Meh. Do you be goat or a fish? Boom, 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 boom. Because the goats do be goat and the fish do be fish. Do you be goat or a fish? Don't sit on the fence. Now repeat, repeat after goat versus fish. Dooby 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 dooby. A dooby goat, dooby goat, dooby goat, dooby goat, or dooby fish, a dooby goat or a fish, because the goats do be goat and the fish do be fish. Do you be goat or a fish? Don't sit on the fence. Well, goat versus fish came up to me and said, a goat or a fish, which one do you be? Do you be goat or a fish? 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 Because the goats do be goat and the fish do be fish. Do you be goat or a fish? Don't sit on the fence. Because the goats do be goat and the fish do be fish. The medieval fence sitter sits on the fence. But the goats do be goat and the fish do be fish. Do you be goat or a fish? That was Do You Be Goat or Fish by Goat vs. Fish on all major streaming platforms. Goat and Fish, if you have some musications you want to submit to the Songs of Goat vs. Fish playlist, maybe we can get your musication in rotation for Goat vs. Fish Radio or some such verses. Welcome again to Goat vs. Fish. And without further offense, it's your Goat vs. Fish morning stream. Here comes Goat vs. Fish, here comes Goat vs. Fish, here comes Goat vs. Fish. Aww. Where's Goat vs. Fish? Goat vs. Fish should be right there. Goat vs. Fish should be right there. What a surprise. Goat vs. Fish is live and Goat vs. Fish isn't even there? Well, that was very unexpected. Or is it quite expected? Technological difficulties are to quite be expected on Goat vs. Fish, and yet you never know just in what quite way the fenceology is going to fence you up. This versus Goat vs. Fish attempted to go live in both the Goat and Fish format, the horizontal and vertical format on YouTube at the same verses. We ran into a couple of offenses. But Goat vs. Fish, we believe we can do it with just a bit more preparation, with just a bit more dedication. But of course, the verses kept on ticking, and Goat vs. Fish, yes, we wanted to be here for you, So Goat vs. Fish said, enough ado, let's go live for the Goat and Fish. But of course now Goat vs. Fish wonders, for we see that 37 minutes ago, Dizzy Be Busy said glorious morning verses when Goat vs. Fish was attempting to go live on both verses. We went live briefly as a test verses, and now we wonder if Twitch is giving all the notifications. BBDH1875 is here. The big fish. But something smells fishy and goaty, and it's Goat vs. Fish. Because by this verses, in the morning motivational of Goat vs. Fish, sometimes there's as many as 3 goat and fish just waiting to be in the congregation. But this will not stop Goat vs. Fish, and it won't start Goat vs. Fish either. Goat vs. Fish is here for you. You should be expecting Goat vs. Fish. Or should you be? It's unexpected surprise! It's Goat vs. Fish. Welcome to Goat vs. Fish. Welcome to Goat vs. Fish. Welcome to Goat vs. Fish, and Lysergic, the Lysergic Freak, is in the verses for Fish, celebration for Fish, and appreciation for your modification of Goat vs. Fish. You're a mod on Goat vs. Fish, you're part of the mod squad on Goat vs. Fish, and you're here. You're here and you're ready, and BBDH187 is here for Fish on YouTube and is saying celebration for Fish and celebration for Goat vs. Fish and celebration for Fish indeed. Celebration for Fish indeed. Don't even want to know. What don't you want to know, Lysergic Freak? What don't you want to know? And Blood Rain 420, first-time chatter, says, are you goat or are you fish? Yes, that is a perfect example of a first-time chat. Let's have a look at that. Blood Rain 420. Suddenly it's raining blood on Goat vs. Fish. It's raining blood on Goat vs. Fish. And the first-time chat is, are you goat or are you fish? Are you goat or fish? That's what we like on Goat vs. Fish. Blood Rain 420. Are you goat or are you fish? Are you goat or fish? It's a perfect versus. What an unexpected surprise. Wait, is that the verses? Wait, Goat vs. Fish. Expected surprise. What an expected surprise. We have Goat vs. Fish. An unexpected surprise would be like goat. Or fish. We want an expected surprise. So we want an expected surprise. that creates the verses. Yes, the expected surprise has an inherent verses within it. It's goat, it's fish. Is the expectation the goat and the surprise the fish? How can we have an expected surprise? It seems like a contradiction. Well, here's one for Goat vs. Fish. Blood Rain 420 is a new chatter to Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish was not expecting that after the Lysergic Freak and BBDH 1875, that the first chatter on Goat vs. Fish would be a new chatter on Goat vs. Fish, a new member of the congregation of Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish, that was a surprise to Goat vs. Fish. And yet, it is expected that you might say, are you goat or fish? Because that is, after all, the one true question of Goat vs. Fish. So there were some verses about this that were goat. There were some verses about this that were a fish. It is expected that we will get new goat and fish in Goat vs. Fish, but it's always a surprise because you never just know quite who's going to show, and Blood Rain 420 chooses goat. Celebration for goat, celebration for goat, celebration for goat. The Lysergic Freak Fish has honeycomb stuck in your head, Yes, Goat vs. Fish is one of the many verses that Goat vs. Fish needs to publish. There's a lot that needs to be done on Goat vs. Fish, but most of all, you require the consistency of Goat vs. Fish for your Monday motivational. Blood Rain 420 has chosen goat. Celebration for goat. Blood Rain 420. What brings you to Goat vs. Fish? What are you trying to accomplish this versus? What is the fish that you are versus? You've woken up. Perhaps you're not even in Verse America. Maybe you've been up for 700 years. But what is the fish? What's the fish? What's the conflict? What's the goal? What's happening? What's the fish that you are versing? Because whatever it may be, Goat vs. Fish will help see you through it. Goat vs. Fish will help see you through it because Goat vs. Fish knows that you can do it. You can do it. And if you already blew it, unless that was the goal, some verses goat and fish, some verses they blow, it's true. Some verses they blow, it's true. But Blood Rain 420, what's the fish to you? You're a goat, what's the fish to you? So here we are. We have in the previous verses, we have a healthy number of goat, slightly less fish. We've got 15 fish, a couple of subscriptions for fish. We have over 20 goat. We have 24 goat. We had 225 Verse American dollars in contribution to fish, 130 for goat. Goat stole the verses of the sound, the verses of the call out, the verses of we'll have to come up with the verses for that verses of the and the blah, blah, for Goat vs. Fish. We had a couple of subscriptions for Goat vs. Fish. And this versus, as we have said, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's the promise of Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish morning motivationals, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And on Monday, it was a triumph for fish. On Tuesday, it was a triumph for fish. On Wednesday, it was a triumph for goat. And now it's Goat vs. Fish Thursday. And who's going to triumph? Are the goat going to even the verses, or is it going to be a versus for fish? Is the fish going to do a domination? And Percules, Canaris, we're going to get that versus one of these verses. Percalisti, Canaris' celebration, Rammy Goat. Oh, it's Rammy Goat. It was Rammy Goat the whole verses. Welcome, Rammy Goat. We'll try to commit that to memorization. Duncan did it. It's a Goat Thursday. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Thank you, Blood Rain 420. Thank you, Blood Rain 420. Always thank Goat vs. Fish. Always thank Goat vs. Fish. And so here we have the verses, but it's time to clear the verses. It's time to clear the verses. We have to start anew. And Goat vs. Fish. We ordered a new verses here to spray Goat vs. Fish. We ordered a new versus to spray Goat vs. Fish. It doesn't versus. It doesn't versus at all. You want to spray Goat vs. Fish. It doesn't versus at all. So you just have to keep going. You just have to keep going. But that's an unexpected Goat versus fish. Oh, the fenciness of it. That's an expected surprise of goat versus fish. You see? The fence is trying to muscle its way into the verses of the goat and fish. Unexpected, but of course you can say unexpected surprise, and it sounds like you're saying it's an unexpected surprise because of the way that the Finglish language works. You don't say a expected surprise, you say unexpected surprise. So you can say it's unexpected surprise, and then goat versus fish thinks that we're fencing it all up, but goat versus fish isn't fencing it up. It's just your perception, because we're saying it's unexpected surprise, and you think goat versus fish is saying it's an unexpected surprise. Goat versus fish. Expected surprise. So what we have here is expected surprise. What was goat versus fish even versing about? What was goat versus fish even versing about, BBDH187? And Rami says, I will require goat versus fish stickers again soon. Well, we're versing on it. We're versing on it. We're versing on it. Goat versus fish is always versing on it. There's always a lot to be done, but versus number 1 is Go Live. Goat versus fish mornings. Goat versus fish mornings. Goat versus fish actually got some decent rest last verses. We think that goat versus fish is finally making the necessary adjustments to bring you consistently the morning stream of goat versus fish. And guess what, goat and fish? Guess what, goat and fish? Next Monday, goat versus fish. Next Monday, motivational of goat versus fish. Goat versus fish has a guest. Goat versus fish has a guest ready. Dizzy Be Busy Goat, we saw your 5 stream streak appreciation. Goat versus fish has a guest lined up. Goat versus fish has a guest lined up for the Monday morning motivational. This coming Monday on Goat versus fish. Not just a guest, but some musications. Imagine the Goat versus fish Monday motivational, but let's see. Goat versus fish is here. Goat versus fish is here. Goat versus fish is here, and then maybe somewhere back there. We've got some musications happening. And Lysergic Freak, the Lysergic Freak Fish, with a gifted 1-month sub to Dizzy Be Busy appreciation. Celebration for a gifted versus. Celebration for a gifted versus appreciation. That's your community leader right there. That is the Lysergic Freak Fish community leader right here on Goat versus Fish. Making sure the versus keeps on going, making sure the versus keeps on growing, supporting those who support Goat versus Fish. We could always use more goat and fish, like the Lysergic Freak Fish, but of course, if there was only ever one Lysergic Freak Fish, that would be okay too, because each and every one of you goat and fish is your own unique, special, individual goat or fish, as long as you're a goat or a fish and don't sit on the fence and choose neither goat nor fish, because that would just be offensive to goat versus fish. And come on, it's like, what, do you think you're so special that you're just going to be on the fence and that you don't have to choose goat or fish? How refensulous. How refensulous. Well, it's goat versus fish over here. It's goat versus fish over here. So let's start the verses. And while we do appreciation, this swordfish is really poking at the verses, So let's just small in the goat and fish ever so slightly, but don't worry, it's still goat versus fish. It's still goat versus fish. So we have in the verses, we have the Lysergic Freak Fish. So let's get one for the fish. Lysergic Freak Fish, you've gifted a sub. Do you have a color of the fish? Do you want a color of the fish? Blood Rain 420 says goat, and a celebration for goat. Blood Rain 420. There's your goat. Your goat is now written evidence in the verses of Goat versus Fish, because whenever you start your day, whenever you say hey to someone you know, to someone you love, or just because it's a stranger who you don't know if they are goat or fish, you are leaving your impression. You are leaving your impression on the universe, and your presence in someone else's verses may just be the expected surprise that's going to give that little glint in their eyes that makes them go, I'm going to get out there and seize the verses. I'm going to have a great verses. I'm going to have a powerful verses, and I'm not going to let the fences bring me down, even though they suck so much, even though they suck so much fence. Even though they suck so much fence. Have you been watching the news lately? It sucks so much fence, but we keep on versing. Lysergic Freak with the gifted verses, and MadCat79 Scotty with a subscription to GoatVsFish. MadCat79 Scotty with a subscription to GoatVsFish. Celebration, 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 celebration. Madcat Scotty, are you goat or are you fish? And Lysergic Freak taking care of their own unification, tidying up the unification here. With another gifted verses, with another gifted verses. Purple fish. Madcat Scotty says purple fish. Here is your purple fish, please. You want a purple fish? It's a purple fish for you. It's a purple fish. Purple fish. Purple fish. Glorious purple fish. We've got a purple traitor. Fish, the known purple traitor. We've got a perp. We've got a perp fish out there. Causing verses for goat. Celebration. There's your purple fish. There's your purple fish. Nice purple fish. Nice purple fish. Nice purple fish. Nice purple fish. Always thank GoatVsFish. Always thank GoatVsFish. That was Madcat Scotty with the purple fish. Madcat Scotty with the purple fish. Russell Harwood 420 says goat. Russell Harwood 420 says goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Russell Harwood 420. What's the surprise? What's the big surprise this verse is? BBDH187. What is your expectation? What is your surprise? That's what we want to hear from you, Goat and Fish. Tell us what's something that happened that you expected. What's something that happened that was a surprise? You want to hear about what was expected in your life. What was a surprise in your life? What's going on? What's going on in GoatVsFish? And Lysergic Freak now. Russell Howard 420 goat. We got goat. We got Russell Howard 420 the goat. Did we get Russell Harwood? We got Russell Harwood the goat because we had the purple fish. Keepa or Keepo? Are you goat or are you fish? Keepa or Keepo? This seems like a good verses to distract from the bad verses. It just seems like GoatVsFish. Look, the goat distract from the fish distract from the goat. It's really the fences that you want to ignore. It's really the fences that you want to ignore. Blue fish for the sea of the fish. We've got Lysergic Freak wants a blue fish. Lysergic Freak wants a blue fish, so let's get a blue fish in there. Let's get a blue fish. Look at these beautiful, colorful fish. Those goat are just so lacking in interesting, distinct coloration when compared to these fish, So there we are. We're getting a blue fish for Lysergic Freak. But of course, Lysergic Freak has gifted 2 subscription to GoatVsFish, has gifted 2 subscription to GoatVsFish. So we're going to give the Lysergic Freak a little flock of fish to follow. So here's a fish. Here's a fish that's going to be following the Lysergic Freak. Have a look at the fish. There we are. Lysergic Freak. Gifting subscriptions, a flock of fish. Mad Scotty with 5 gifted verses. 5 gifted verses, but let's not forget about the Rammy Goat. Celebration for goat. 5 huge gifted verses. And let's not forget about Blood Rain 420 goat. Wait a verses. We got the Blood Rain 420 goat. We got the Blood Rain goat. We think we have all the verses. T1B the fish is in the verses. Celebration more fish. Welcome back, T1B, a great streamer. Metal-esque, welcome back to GoatVsFish for Goat. Welcome back to GoatVsFish for Goat. Dizzy be busy, welcome back to GoatVsFish. Duncan did it. Are you goat or are you fish? We have to get all the verses. It's a Goat Thursday. Very well, Duncan did it. That's one more goat. We have 5 goat and 4 fish, but we just got 5 gifted verses. We got 5 gifted verses from Mad Cat Scotty for the fish. So let's get 5 fish. And for your 5 gifted verses, we think it's time to introduce a new fish. Mad Cat Scotty, we think it's time to introduce a new fish in the verses. Mad Scott, you went fish, did you not? Let's double the verses. Surprise. Mad Cat, because Blood Rain went goat, but Mad Cat went fish, purple fish. So here's the verses. Mad Cat, because for your 5 gifted subs, it's time to introduce a new fish in the Goat versus Fish. Let us ask you, Mad Cat Scotty, let's ask you a versus. Tell us about your fish. Are you a fierce attack fish? Like, powerful, you go out and seize the versus. Attack fish, powerful fish, feared fish. Or are you a keep it chill, kind of lays about? Oh, no, we're just having a nice, easy versus. We're having a nice, easy versus. Come on in, goat. Come on, fish. We're going to have a nice, easy versus. Not to be bothered. No. Yes. Oh, fun versus, happy versus, relaxation versus, eat some fish food, chill about. What kind of fish? Your answer to this versus is going to determine what kind of fish is going to be the new fish on Goat versus Fish. Hey, Goat versus Fish, what's that white substance that's in that tiny little Ziploc bag? It's just fish. We promise you it's just fish. Russell Harwood 420, and Mad Cat Scotty says, fierce attack Scottish fish because politics are infuriating to me. Well then, we've got just the fish for you. And unexpected surprise. The expected surprise. Lysergic freak with a gifted verses to Animal Rights, to the Animal Rights XOXO. Animal Rights XOXO. Let's give you another fish. For Animal Rights. Celebration for animal rights, for the rights of goat, for the rights of fish, and even for the rights and lefts of those pesky fence sitters. After all, they need to have the freedom to choose goat or fish. But as for the expected surprise of Mad Cat Scotty, the angry at politics fish, the fierce angry at politics fish, we're going to tell you, we told you it's going to be a fierce fish. Some of you will expect this surprise. Surprise! Sharkfish, make some noise for the sharkfish! Make some noise for the sharkfish! New sharkfish has entered the verses. And a celebration for fish. Comes up like this. What's that? It's like this. Oh, it's fish in the foreground. It's fish in the foreground. Make some noise for the sharkfish. Sharkfish is in the verses. That's one sharkfish for fish. And guess what that fish is thinking about? That fish is thinking about something very special for 5 gifted verses. That fish is thinking about something very special. Welcome, Winger Swift Wing 32312. Welcome, Winger Swift Wing, to Goat versus Fish. What an expected surprise. Are you goat or fish? That shark is thinking about rainbows. That shark is thinking about how the verses could be so much better. We could be living in such a better verses. Beautiful verses. So now we know that this shark counts for 5 gifted verses because the shark is thinking about rainbows. That's how we know. That's how we know that this is worth 5 verses. That's how we know that that's 5 gifted subscriptions to Goat versus Fish, because they're thinking about rainbows. Rainbows are another expected surprise. They don't happen all the verses, but they are happening all the verses. Everywhere around the universe, everywhere around the world, we know that there's a rainbow happening right now. There's a rainbow happening right now. It may not be happening in front of you, but it's happening. It may not be happening in front of you, or is it? Or is it? Oh, what a surprise! What a surprise! Somewhere out there there's a rainbow, somewhere out there there's a double rainbow, somewhere out there there's a triple rainbow, somewhere out there there's a double rainbow. You don't know when it's going to happen, but you know it's going to happen, especially if you go looking, especially if you go searching for those beautiful things in life, if you go searching for those wonderful things. You will find them in expected places. You will find them in unexpected places. You will find surprises in even the most mundane thing, even when it's goat versus fish. Every single versus, even when it's goat versus fish again and again, even when you tune in every versus and it's still goat versus fish, it's still goat versus fish. You wake up, it's goat versus fish. You go to sleep, it's goat versus fish. It's all goat versus fish always. You say, oh, I will never again be surprised by goat versus fish. It's all boring. It's all the same. It's all so lame. But guess what, goat and fish? Look at the expected. Look at the expected. Look at the beautiful things. Look at the beautiful things all around you. There's always time for surprise. There's always time for surprise. But if you allow your eyes not to be deceived by the fences, if you let that obstruction fall away, and recognize the beauty of the place in which you are in, you will find expected surprises. You will find surprises in the expected, in beautiful verses, just like a rainbow. It's there to show you the covenant between goat and fish and goat versus fish. Celebration. Winger, swift wing. Are you goat or are you fish? Metal-esque with a 100 cheer for goat, Let's get that verses. Let's get that 100 for goat. Appreciation. 100 contribution for goat. Your contribution is always welcome here on Goat vs. Fish. Russell Harwood 420, are you goat or fish? Animal Rights XOXO, are you goat or are you fish? Shark fish. You earned a hype chest. Open to find your reward. Oh, there's my hype chest. Appreciation. Thanks, Goat vs. Fish. Phasic22 says, you fish, you goat. Phasic22, are you goat or are you fish? Are you goat or are you fish? Beautiful goat and fish. Beautiful goat and fish. Mad Cat says, rejoice for a bisexual fish. Rejoice for a bisexual fish. Okay. Bisexual fish. We have rejoiced for the bisexual fish. Karmic says, I am goat. I've had horrible luck lately. I could use a rainbow. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Karmic is in the verses. Appreciation for goat. Watching Goat vs. Fish on YouTube, and what a beautiful place and thing it is to watch a beautiful Goat vs. Fish YouTube type versus. Animal Rights, are you goat or are you fish? Kipo or Kipo, are you goat or are you fish? Winger, swift wing, are you goat or are you fish? Goat versus fish, the ultimate expected, unexpected versus. And now it's time for a hydration. Go goat, Animal Rights goes goat. Goat are trying to mount a defense against fish, mount a defense against fish. But look at this versus. We've got only 4 fish, but 1, 2, 5. We've got 7. Seven subscription for fish. 7 subscription for fish. And goat versus fish. There was another gifted versus. Lysergic Freak with one gifted versus. Lysergic Freak with 2 gifted verses. Okay, so goat versus fish. So we have 1 versus, but we have plus 2 verses. We have the color of the fish makes for 1 versus, and we have then 2 verses, one versus, bonus verses. Goat versus fish. Hollywood's Live says, sometimes I like to imagine goat versus fish in a Zoom meeting talking about sales projection. Well, how about we do that then? How about let's imagine goat versus fish talking about sales projection. Let's talk about sales projection. But before we talk about sales projection, let's do a couple of morning celebrations, goat and fish. If you have the space, if you have the time, it's time to relieve your stress with goat versus fish. It's time for some morning celebration motivations. Let's go, goat and fish. Let's go, goat and fish. Let's go, goat and fish. Here we go. Morning celebrations. Verse like this. Verse like this. We honor goat versus fish. We honor goat versus fish as we honor ourselves, as we honor the goat and fish. Just like this. We put our hooves or our fins shoulder width apart, hooves or fins shoulder width apart, and down, goat and fish, down, goat and fish. But don't stay there for long because we don't want to sit on the fence, so we get off the fence. Celebration! 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 Do it with goat versus fish. Do it with goat versus fish. Celebration! 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 Big celebrations now. Big celebrations. Celebration! Celebration! One more bonus verses. One more bonus verses. The expected, unexpected, surprise versus celebration, celebration. That was some celebration. Goat versus fish is projecting. Yes. What about wet goat versus horny fish, says Maracas Skullman. What about wet goat versus a horny fish? Now, that's an interesting versus. That is a very interesting versus. Wet goat versus horny fish all the time. Some think that it's the fish that's going to get wet, the goat that's going to be horny, but sometimes it's a horny fish and a wet goat.
Ooh.
Oh yes, it's goat versus fish in the mornings. It's goat versus fish in the mornings, and we've got wet goat and horny fish. Whoa! Marcus Skullman, are you goat or are you fish? Okay, let's talk about our projections. We've got to get into the projections. We've got to get into the projections, goat and fish. It's time. It's time, and goat versus fish. We think that you're reminding goat versus fish. We have segments we want to do on goat versus fish. We have segments that we want to do on goat versus fish. And as a matter of verses, goat versus fish, we had corner, TV, versus Placia, camera, stream deck, triumphs, stills, clear, goat versus fish, triple verses, title, goat versus fish, triumphs, current verses, goat versus fish. We had a place. Well, we're just going to put it here. We're going to put it here. We're going to say meditation. And we have stonks / sales projection segment. It's time. We have to look at the verses. We have to look at the verses. I'm a goat because I can't swim and will eat tin cans. Celebration for the tin can eating goat, for the tin can eating goat. Celebration for the tin can eating goat. Appreciation. Okay, goat and fish. Okay, goat and fish, it's time. Oh, that's where we had it written. Goat meal. That's where we had it written. There's the verses. Now we just have to get rid of this unification nations because, let's face verses, the unification nations isn't doing much to maintain the unification of goat and fish, these verses. Bye-bye, world peace. Okay, goat and fish, it's goat versus fish Thursdays. It's goat versus fish Thursdays, morning motivational. And it's time that we got you back into the information. We need to share with you some information about goat versus fish. So let's start the verses. First, we have goat versus fish. We have goat versus fish. Now here, we have our basic verses. This is goat versus fish. Now in this verses, we've got goat. We've got goat in this verses. As you can see, we've got goat. So this verses is goat. So there's the verses. We label it goat very clearly. And of course we have fish. We have fish as well. Celebration for fish. And don't worry about these fences. Don't worry about these fence sitters. We don't really have to worry about that at this verses, but we label this axis fish. And here we have goat versus fish. And goat versus fish, we're going to show you now. We're going to show you the projections. We've got projections on goat versus fish. So here's what's been happening. Since goat versus fish started doing goat versus fish in the mornings, here on YouTube and Twitch, since goat versus fish started doing goat versus fish in the mornings, the versus has looked something like this. The versus has been going up. The versus has been going up. And as goat increases, so does fish. And as fish increases, so does goat. Verses are just going up and up and up, straight through the verses. As a matter of goat versus fish, the verses are so high. The verses are so high that we have to continue the verses. We have to continue the verses like this. They go beyond. The stonks are going up. So high on goat versus fish. And it's all thanks to you. Because right around here, what we noticed, celebration was Mad Cat Scotty got in the verses. And the verses went up for fish. But then Animal Rights XOXO got in the verses, and the verses went up for goat. Now around here, we did have a fence sitter. We had a fence sitter here who said, you should quit goat versus fish. You should stop doing goat versus fish. They said, you suck, goat versus fish. They said, you're dumb, goat versus fish. They said, all you do is say goat and fish and add Asian to the ends of words. And it's not going anywhere, and you're not dedicated enough, and you should quit, and you suck. That's the basic verses. So stonks, they went down. Goat and fish experienced some doubt at that verses. But then Metal-esque, the combined unification of Metal-esque and the Lysergic Freakfish, brought the verses up again, and it was a celebration, Yes, there was a great unification here in this verses. There was a unification of the goat and the fish, and goat and fish got together in unification, and they said, yes, we love goat versus fish. We welcome goat versus fish. We thank goat versus fish for helping strengthen our unification and for being here for the celebration. And so stonks went up again, verses went up again, and then some fence sitters came around and said, wow, I just watched your set on Kill Tony and AGT, and oh, it's so sad that you're like a 60-year-old man and you're still doing all this, even though I don't really know how old that you are. I'm going to leave a comment that says that it's pathetic and cringe and lame, and then I'm going to go back to my YouTube channel that has 20 subscribers, and where I'm going to juggle cigar boxes and basically just be lame and play some video game for no one and look not at all that well put together, which wouldn't really be anything that we should take offense or make fun of anyone for, except that I totally just made fun of goat versus fish and said that I don't like goat versus fish for attention, so I kind of got what was coming to me. And so, oh, sad goat versus fish. Oh, no. Sad goat versus fish. Verses are going down. Fence sitters are the worst, but we believe the fence sitters can reform. They can choose goat or fish. 99.9 LSD OCD says one verses and upper verses. 999 LSD OCD. Are you goat or are you fish? Oh, they threw rocks over the fence. And giant spoons. Are you goat or are you fish? There was a banana man. Do you see banana man hopping over on the white hot sand? And since then, Goat vs. Fish started the Goat vs. Fish morning motivationals. It's now been maybe 5 or 6 verses in a row, and it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And that's the surprise, Goat and Fish. Surprise! Goat vs. Fish has a schedule! Goat vs. Fish has a schedule? After 5 years of streaming, Goat vs. Fish has a schedule? Yes, Goat vs. Fish. We've actually updated our schedule on Twitch and on YouTube. Goat vs. Fish has a schedule now. Goat vs. Fish morning motivationals. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're telling you all again. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 a.m. for 2 hours, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. A 2-hour stream. Friday streams for Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish thinks that we'll probably give you Friday streams whenever we wish, but maybe one of these verses, Friday streams will be a subscribers-only stream, or Friday streams will be a Patreon patrons-only stream. Maybe that's how it's going to be. Special Friday streams for only the most dedicated Goat and Fish. Giant Spoon says, I am 100% fish, and you love grazing on that high-quality H2O, and Spoonman says it's only fish. So this has been your report. This has been your versus report. We can see that Goat is increasing along with Fish, and that it's a celebration, and that it's all going Goat versus Fish. It's all going Goat versus Fish. This has been sales projections with Goat versus Fish. We'll see you next quarter. And we have 2 more fish in the verses, and we have we have a Spoon Man and a Giant Spoons. Celebration for scheduled verses. Because that's what it comes down to, doesn't it, Goat and Fish? Goat vs. Fish wants you to show up to Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish wants you to show up for Goat vs. Fish, but how can Goat vs. Fish expect you to show up for Goat vs. Fish unless, surprise, Goat vs. Fish shows up for you? So Goat vs. Fish is showing up for you. Goat vs. Fish is showing up, and you're showing up for Goat vs. Fish. It's a beautiful, mutually beneficial versus. And 999 LSD goes Goat. Let's get one more Goat. And look at that beautiful verses. 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 9 subscriptions. 9 glorious subscriptions for Goat vs. Fish. That's an appreciation. Giant Spoons loves grazing on some high-quality H2O. Well, so does Goat vs. Fish. So let's get some verses going. Goat vs. Fish. Listen, we're having some unpleasant feelings about Verse America now. We know it's getting fancy out there. It's getting fancy in Verse America. But sometimes you just have to let freedom ring. Sometimes you just have to sing. Here's to our morning hydration. Goats need hydration too, and so do the fish. So get a nice clean cup of verses, whatever kind of caffeination you like to drink. Maybe it's the hair of the fence that bit you. Who knows? Here, using the mug of Goat vs. Fish, let's have some hydration. Celebration! Celebration! Celebration for goat versus fish! Celebration for goat versus fish! Hey, you! You better get your verses in order. You're fencing around with our goat and fish Americans. Fence America is fencing around with our goat and fish Americans, and goat versus fish doesn't like it, and you need to stop doing that. Maybe some of you need to be thrown behind the fence. Maybe some of your verse American fence forcement needs to be thrown behind the fence yourself. Maybe you're doing a little bit of projection. Have you ever thought of that? Maybe the fenciness is coming from within you. The fenciness is coming from inside the verses. The fenciness is coming from inside the verses. But you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. You can just enjoy a little bit of weed pipe fish. You can just enjoy a nice little weed pipe fish. You can enjoy a nice little weed pipe fish. Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. Celebration for the fish. Celebration for the fish. Celebration for the fish. Celebration for the fish. Okay, goat and fish. It's time once again. It's time once again. It's time once again for a big important verses. This is the verses of sounding off. We're sounding off, goat and fish. It's time to sound off. Now, some of you are on YouTube and some of you are on Twitch. And that's okay. Appreciation 999 LSD OCD reposted Goat versus Fish, in which we gave your life back. Appreciation. Thank you for giving your life to giving back to Goat versus Fish, and then giving the life that you gave to Goat versus Fish back to everyone else after we gave your life back to you. That's really great. We really appreciate that whenever you repost Goat versus Fish. Okay, Goat and Fish. It's time for the verses of the sound off. This has become one of our most consistent morning motivational segments, Goat and Fish, and this is what we're going to call on you to do. What we're going to call on you to do, whether you be on Twitch, whether you be on YouTube. The verses is currently held by Goat. The verses is currently held by Goat. The verses is currently held by Goat as a note, but it could go either way. Goat versus Fish is going to call on the goats now. Calling on all goat watching the stream. It's time for you to scream. So get your hooves on over to your keyboards and get ready. Get ready to type goat. Get ready to type bleh. Get ready to post goat emojis and emotes, because Goat versus Fish is going to count up from Goat versus Fish. We're going to count GoatVsFish, and then we call upon you to make some noise in the chat for Goat. And the more of you, and you can double the verses, you can make noise on Twitch and on YouTube. You can make noise on Twitch and on YouTube. As the matter versus Goat versus Fish is going to show you all how you can get to YouTube. And while you're there, subscribe to Goat versus Fish. And while you're there, like the stream of Goat versus Fish. While you're there, we want you versus Fish. And while you're there, that's Goat versus Fish. While you're there, we want you to like the stream. We want you to say hello. Oh, Thunderhead81 says hello, Goat. Oh, Goat. Thunderhead Goat's in the verses. Celebration for Goat. We hope you're enjoying your motivation, Goat. We believe, Thunderhead. We know you can accomplish it. We know you can do it. We know you can versus that fish. We know you can triumph. So Goat versus Fish, we're posting the link to the YouTube stream. Posting the link to the YouTube stream so you can go and like it, and so you can go and double the verses if you wish. So we're going to count up from Goat versus Fish, GoatVsFish, and then we want all the goats in the congregation to type goat, to type to make some noise for goat. Just make some noise for goat. Yes, you can say celebration, but we need to know that you're a goat. So we want goat emotes, we want goat, we want we want all the goat verses. We want all the goat verses. And we're going to count how many of you make goat noise, and you can do it on Twitch, and you can do it on YouTube for double the verses. And without further offense, here we go. We're counting down. Goat, get ready. Goat, get ready. G O A T V S. Don't let the fences hold you back. F. Don't let the fish stop you. I. This is your chance. Make some noise. S. H. Goat versus fish. Make some noise for the goat. Make some noise for the goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Okay, let's check in. Let's check in now. Let's see who's making noise for goat. Let's see who's making noise for goat. Metal-esque says goat, 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 goat. Thunderhead says goat. Keepa or Keepo says blah, 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 blah. That's three. That's three. And we've got 999 LSD OCD, who said 1,500 verses, but we don't see SRvis 6919 says fish. Welcome to Goat versus Fish. Welcome to Goat versus Fish. Your fish has been counted. Now, 999 LSD said 1,500 verses and posted a lot of goat, but you have to wait. You have to wait until Goat versus Fish counts up from Goat versus Fish. We count up from Goat versus Fish, and that's when you versus for goat. You don't versus for goat before. You wait until the count up from Goat versus Fish, and then you versus for goat, and then you versus for goat if you're goat. So Goat versus Fish is looking at the verses, and we have Metal-esque, Keepa or Keepo, and Thunderhead, who redeemed a celebration for goat. That's going to count for goat. So goat get a score of 3. Goat get a score of 3 in the verses. We think goat could have. We think a more disciplined goat could have. You could have done more, goat. Could have done more. But we really appreciate the 3 goat who got in the verses. So now it's time for fish. Now it's time for fish. Fish, get ready to make some noise. Same verses. When we count up from Goat versus Fish. Fish, get at your keyboards. We want you typing fish. We want you typing blub, 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 blub. 99 LSD is posting goat now, but it's too late now. It's too late now. It's Fish's turn. Appreciation. DD Mega Doodoo TTV says, I'm invested, and you should invest in Goat versus Fish. Invest in Goat versus Fish, DD Mega Doodoo TTV, because when you invest in Goat versus Fish, then Goat versus Fish just keeps going up and up and up and up. As goat increase, so do fish. As you follow Goat versus Fish, we get more Goat versus Fish. Now that you're invested in Goat versus Fish will invest in you. Are you goat or are you fish? What are you trying to accomplish this versus? Allow Goat versus Fish to be your expected surprise, your motivation every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's Goat versus Fish, as rejected on America's Got Talent. It's Goat versus Fish, as rejected on Kill Tony. It's Goat versus Fish, member number 0 of Green Jellÿ, the MC for the Deep Fat Fried podcast meetup. It's Goat versus Fish, opener for the Radioactive Chicken Heads. It's Goat versus Fish, winner of the FootFest. It's Goat versus Fish, MC of Willytown Fest. It's the legendary. It's the expected. It's the surprise. It's the goat. It's the fish. It's the versus. Get off the fence. Are you goat or are you fish? Welcome, DD Mega Doodoo TV to Goat versus Fish. And Goat versus Fish is invested. Goat versus Fish is invested in your success. Goat versus Fish is invested in your success. So many legendary verses. So many legendary verses. But now it's time for fish. Now it's time for fish. Fish, get ready, fish. Get ready, fish. We're going to count from Goat versus Fish. We're going to count from Goat versus Fish. And then we want blubs in the chat. We want bleats in the chat. We want noise for fish. We want the sound of fish. We want fish making noise and typing out things in the chat. Can you beat 3? Can you beat 3 goat? Can you beat 3 goat? Let's count. Let's count and see what happens. Let's count. Let's see what happens. G. O. Come on, fish. A. T. Come on, fish. V. S. You'd better make some noise. F. I. Don't let the goat and fences hold you back. S. H. Make some noise for the fish. Make some noise for the fish. Come on, fish. Let's hear it. Fish. Fish. Let's see what we've got. Let's see what we've got. We've got weed pipe saying blub for fish. Thunderhead reached a 3-stream streak this minute. Goat streak celebration. We've got Lysergic Freak with blub. We've got Weed Pipe with blub. We've got BBDH187 with fish. We've got Ratrosphere first time chat blub. What a surprise. First time fish getting in on the verses. That's 4 for the fish. 4 for the fish. And BBDH187 doubling the verses on YouTube for 5. Doubling the verses. And Dylan Blada, that's a familiar verses, with 6. And Weed Pipe doubling the verses 7. Fish coming in with 7. MVP of the verses, most valuable fish. Oh, and Weed Pipe the fish, but we got 7. Ratrosphere goes blub. Celebration for fish. Fish scores 7. Goat only score 3. Fish triumph. Fish take the verses back. Fish have stolen the verses back from Goat. What an upset. Fish has now reclaimed the verses of making some noise. So let's make some noise for the fish. Make some noise for the fish. Yes, fish have reclaimed the verses of making some noise for the fish. Making some noise for the fish. 999 LSDOCD says, I meant your repost short got 1,500 verses on my channel. You reposted Goat vs. Fish. It got 1,500 verses on your channel. Well, that's great for Goat vs. Fish. Thanks for reposting Goat vs. Fish. That's okay. Ooh, Lysergic Funeral. Lysergic Funeral says celebration. Lysergic Funeral. Are you goat or are you fish? So many Lysergics around here. But we have Dylan, and we have Lysergic Funeral. Lysergic Funeral, are you goat or are you fish? There's so many Lysergics. Is Lysergic Funeral Dylan, who's also Lysergical Freak? Are these all the same Lysergic? Or is this a different Lysergic? Celebration for fish. Lysergic says fish. Lysergic Funeral says fish. Celebration for fish. Listen, some goat and fish. Fish imposters, says Metalesque. Goat is accusing the fish of fish posterization. We're all fish. Well, then you'd better all subscribe and ring the bell for notification and like the stream and all that verses. Well, Goat and Fish, we have been live for an hour and 8. So, Goat versus Fish. We think it's time to bring back a segment. Of course, we could sing you some songs, but Goat vs. Fish is feeling like we should do some Goat vs. Fish call-in. We should do some Goat vs. Fish call-in streams. Maybe you want to have a chat with Goat vs. Fish. So Goat vs. Fish. Don't mind the stigmata of Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish is going to, let's see, we've got the number here. Oh, my verses. Oh, so we have call in and marbles. Old Biker 1971 says, fun fact, koi fish swim in groups of 4. When attacked, kois A, B, and C flee, leaving behind the decoy. What an expected surprise. What a joke. What a joke. Let's have a dramatic reading of that joke. It's time for dramatic reading. Time for a dramatic reading of the joke. Fun fact. Koi fish swim in groups of 4. When attacked, koi's A, B, and C flee, leaving behind the decoy. We repeat. Fun fact. Koi fish swim in groups of 4. Not 1, not 3, not 5, but 4. When attacked, the A koi, the B koi, and the C koi flee, leaving behind the decoy. A koi, B koi, C koi, D koi, E koi, F koi, G koi, H koi, I koi, J koi, K koi, L koi, M koi, N koi, O koi, P koi, Q koi, R koi, S koi, T koi, U koi, V koi, W koi, X koi, Y koi, Z koi. Now I know my GVF. Next time, won't you go to fish? Old Biker 1971. Nice joke. Are you goat or fish? Are you goat or fish? Not fun fact, but funny fact. Goat versus fish. It's time for the Goat versus Fish call-in show. It's time for call-in with Goat versus Fish. Time for call-in with Goat versus Fish. It's time for call-in with Goat versus Fish, but you need the Goat versus Fish phone number to call in for Goat versus Fish. The Goat versus Fish hotline. There's the Goat versus Fish hotline celebration. And let's add some production value. Let's add some production value to Goat versus Fish. 3D transformation on Goat versus Fish. 3D transformation on Goat versus Fish. Add some perspective to Goat versus Fish. Add some yaw to Goat versus Fish. Oh no, that's not the verses. Well, we could do that verses. We could have like the Goat versus Fish hotline coming in all sideways like that. That could be kind of fun. But Goat versus Fish, we're not going to do that. No. Oh, are we going to pitch Goat versus Fish? Pitch Goat versus Fish? There's the verses. There's the verses. There's the Goat versus Fish hotline 3D transformation we've all been waiting for. That's kind of what we wanted from Goat versus Fish. That's sort of what we wanted from Goat versus Fish. It's all receding to the same verses. Or did we want to sheer Goat versus Fish? Whatever the verse is, we'll take it. We'll take it, Goat and Fish. There we are. The Goat versus Fish hotline is now open. The Goat versus Fish hotline is now open. 747-221-GVF0. That's 747-221-4830. That's right, Goat and Fish. You can call in to Goat versus Fish, and it will take you to the Goat versus Fish hotline. You have nothing to fear. But you will be live, and we will be able to hear you on the live stream of Goat versus Fish. You can call in Goat versus Fish, and you can tell us about your expectations. You can tell us about your surprises. You can tell us about a favorite story you have of Goat versus Fish. You can ask a question to Goat versus Fish. You can tell us about your day. You can tell us about your inspiration. You don't have to tell us your name if you don't want. But you should tell us if you're goat or fish, and we can have a nice little conversation with Goat versus Fish. It's the Goat versus Fish hotline, and Goat versus Fish wants to talk to you. The lines are open at 747-221-GVF0. Don't be shy. Only the entire universe is listening. Only the entire universe is waiting for you to say something to Goat versus Fish. We've even had fence sitters call in and mock Goat versus Fish. We've had fence sitters call in and say, you're lame, Goat versus Fish. It's all part of the game, Goat versus Fish. It's all part of the game. And Goat versus Fish wants you. Goat versus Fish wants you to call in the Goat versus Fish hotline. 2 verses ago, we had a call. We had a call on the Goat vs. Fish hotline. It was a great conversation. The last verses, we had a Goat vs. Fish hotline. No one called Goat vs. Fish, but that's okay, too. Your heart is pounding. You're nervous. Your fin is itching on the pulse of your cellular phone, and you're wondering, should you push that button? And Goat vs. Fish is here to tell you, yes, get off the fence. Call Goat vs. Fish. Oh, Goat vs. Fish is too big. Goat vs. Fish is too famous. Goat vs. Fish is so amazing. I just don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I have the confidence. I can barely order pizza. I don't know if I can call Goat vs. Fish. It's so old-fashioned. Oh, can't I just text Goat vs. Fish? Can't I just text Goat vs. Fish? Just like I do in the chat in the congregation. You can text Goat vs. Fish all you wish, but Goat vs. Fish, for another several minutes, Goat vs. Fish is going to leave that hotline open. Goat vs. Fish is leaving the Goat vs. Fish hotline open for Goat and Fish to call Goat vs. Fish, and you may say, well, Goat vs. Fish, I don't want to call Goat vs. Fish. You're ranting. You are ranting, and I want to listen to you rant. I can't. Well, Goat vs. Fish is just ranting to fill in the dead air as we wait for you to call and declare Goat or Fish. We want you to call in and declare Goat or Fish. But if you're waiting for a break in Goat vs. Fish, if you're waiting for silence for Goat vs. Fish to call Goat vs. Fish, then here's your silence. Brilliant. Ever so just brilliant. Ever so just brilliant. Appreciation. Oh, thank you. Oh, yes. Goat vs. Fish. The jersey you are looking at now is a Mersey. It's one of the Merseys, and it's brought to you by Jedi Grind, who gifted this versus Jedi Grind, who gifted it to Goat vs. Fish. Dude, it's Nat says that's actually super impressive. What unexpected surprise. Goat vs. Fish is actually super impressive. But you know what's super impressive to Goat vs. Fish? Dude, it's Nat. Why, it's you who are so impressive to Goat vs. Fish. Oh, you weren't expecting that? Or were you? Expected surprise. You're the one who's super impressive to Goat vs. Fish. You could be versing any goat. You could be versing any fish. You could be sitting on any fence. But you are here. You are here with Goat vs. Fish, and that impresses Goat vs. Fish. It impresses Goat vs. Fish. But you know what would impress us even more? Is a choice of goat or fish. Dude, it's Nat. Are you goat or are you fish? Goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Let's get one more goat. The score now on Goat vs. Fish. We've got 11 goat. And we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fish. We've got 11 goat and 10 fish. So we have one more goat. The Uber Kitten redeemed a celebration for goat. That's another goat. So we have 12 goat. And 10 fish. So goat are outnumbering the fish. However, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 subscriptions. 9 subscriptions from fish. 9 beautiful subscriptions for fish. 100 bits for goat. And so, Goat vs. Fish, don't you know? And so, Goat vs. Fish, don't you know? Fish has also won the verses of Making Some Noise. Goat for Life, Uber Kitten, indeed. Fish has won the verses of Making Some Noise. On Mun verses and Two's verses, Fish won the verses. On Wen's verses, Goat won the verses. So here's Goat vs. Fish Thursday. And what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Are fish going to run away with the verses for 3-1? Or is it going to be an even versus with goat? Is it going to be an even versus with goat picking up a second versus in the verses? It's difficult to say. It's difficult to know. But looking at the verses now, it's looking like fish is triumphing again. Even with fewer fish, it's the strategization from fish. It's the monetization of fish. Fish organized, subscribing, making noise. Goat, the same but to a lesser extent. And so fish are triumphing. Fish are triumphing. Fish are triumphing. Goat, better get your verses together. Goat, better get your verses together. Better get your verses together on Goat versus Fish. Yes, Rammy Goat. We see you, Rammy Goat. We see you, Rammy Goat, and we love the Rammy Goat, and we love the Rammy Goat. Giant Spoon says fish is not a choice, it's a lifestyle. Do other fish agree with that verses? What about you, Goat? Is goat a lifestyle for you, or is it a choice? Tell us about your goat. Tell us about your goat. Remember, next Monday, we've got a guest musician coming on Goat versus Fish. We've got a guest musician coming on Goat versus Fish. Next Monday, we're going to increase production values here on Goat versus Fish. We're going to increase production values on Goat versus Fish in the mornings because just like you're showing up in the morning for Goat versus Fish, we're looking for someone who's ready to wake up early for Goat versus Fish. We're looking for someone who's ready to... I'm so tired, but I have to get up for Goat versus Fish. We're looking for those of you who are really dedicated to Goat versus Fish to get here in the studio and make celebrations with Goat versus Fish. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to do. Back to school fish. 99 LSD says sending fish back to school. Organizing gets things done. Celebration for organization. Celebration for organization. But you don't have to be so organized. We just need you to show up for Goat versus Fish. We just need you to like the stream of Goat versus Fish. We just need you to be there for one another. When you join the congregation of Goat versus Fish, you do not join it alone. You join it with other goat, 2 verses, with other fish, 2 verses, or to form unifications, if that's your contemplation, As a matter of verses, Goat and Fish, we think it's time. Weed Pipe is eating cheese. Celebration for eating cheese. It's time. We think it's time for a proposition, Goat and Fish. It's time for a proposition. There's something that Goat versus Fish wants to know. There's something that Goat versus Fish wants to know. There's something that Goat versus Fish wants to know, so we want you to get there. We want you to get back to your typing again. Look, we know that you've got work to do. We know that your boss is demanding that you do something. But don't you want to sneak away for a little bit and play a little Goat versus Fish, don't you? We've got Goat and Fish in the verses. But we know that there's some unification out there. We know that there's some lysergic metal esquire unifications lurking out there somewhere. So Goat versus Fish, we want to ask you, just like we counted Goat versus Fish, and you posted for Goat and for Fish, Goat versus Fish, we want to hear a chorus. We want to hear a chorus now from both Goat and Fish, Goat versus Fish wants to know if we are seeking verses or if we are seeking unification. Are we seeking verses? Are we seeking unification? Are we seeking verses? Are we seeking unification? This verse is Goat versus Fish wants to know. Goat versus Fish wants to know. Goat versus Fish wants to know. So why don't you tell Goat versus Fish? We're going to count down from Goat versus Fish. And if you want verses, we want you to type verses. And if you want unification, you can type UNI. You can type VS for verses. You can type UNI, or you can use your verses emotes or your unification emotes. What are we striving for? Are we striving for Goat versus Fish? Are we striving for unification? Are we striving for verses? Are we striving for unification? Maybe Friday. Maybe that's what happens on Friday. Maybe Friday... Well, Goat versus Fish. We could have Monday could be a Goat versus Fish stream. Tuesday could be a Goat stream. And Wednesday could be a Fish stream. And then maybe Thursday is a unification stream. And then Fence Fridays. Oh, my verses. Fence Fridays. Oh, my verses. Goat versus Fish. We're going to make it written. Here. What if we broke up the week? Until for Monday was a versus stream, and we could do Tuesday goat. We could do Wednesday fish, just as a hypothetical versus. And Thursday unification for goat versus fish Thursdays. Or we could start off on unification and goat versus fish Thursdays could be the versus. After all, it's goat versus fish Thursdays. It's goat versus fish. So maybe we start Monday. Maybe we start Monday in unification. Maybe we start in unification, and then we break up the verses, and then we get goat versus fish. We get goat fish. We get goat fish, and then Fence Friday. Fence Friday, because goat versus fish. Does goat versus fish really want to stream on Friday? Goat and fish. Does Goat versus Fish really want to stream on Friday after we've done so much hard work all throughout the verses? Oh, Goat versus Fish. Well, maybe with enough subscriptions, maybe with enough contributions, Goat versus Fish will stream on Friday. Maybe Goat versus Fish will stream on Friday. Fence Friday, but maybe Goat versus Fish needs a little motivation to stream on Fence Friday. Maybe Goat versus Fish could use some motivation for streaming on Fence Friday. Maybe Goat versus Fish, who just wants a few verses to stream on Fence Friday. Have you ever thought about the needs of Goat versus Fish? Goat versus Fish. This Goat versus Fish Thursday, Goat versus Fish. There's a big celebration happening tonight. There's a big celebration happening tonight. Accidental Chaos. It's a comedy place here in Los Angeles, and it's going away by Accidental Chaos. And oh, Goat versus Fish, they know how to have a late celebration over there at Accidental Chaos, if you know my verses. So it's going to be a rager. So does Goat versus Fish want to wake up for a Goat versus Fish Friday morning stream? Does Goat versus Fish want to make up for a Friday morning stream? Well, maybe. Maybe Goat versus Fish. We currently have 62 subscribers. We currently have 62 subscribers on YouTube. For Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish. We'll just throw out a verses. If Goat versus Fish, if we end up either at 75 subscription points, by the end of this stream, or if we get, would be much cheaper, 3 more paying Goat versus Fish Patreon patrons. If we get 3 more paying Goat versus Fish Patreon patrons, 3 more paying Goat versus Fish Patreon patrons by the end of this stream, then Goat versus Fish will promise you a Friday stream. Goat versus Fish will give you the verses Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So leave Goat versus Fish permission to extort you for some of your Verse American dollars for the Fence Friday stream. Just let Goat versus Fish be a profit for profit. Just for little verses. Goat versus Fish gives so much to you. Please allow the extortion of Goat versus Fish. After all, it's Verse America. Are we not in Verse America? Is it not the right of Goat versus Fish to extort you for every last living cent that you ever worked for? Because what better place to put it than for Goat versus Fish? What better place to do it than for Goat versus Fish? But in any verses, back to the unification versus celebration. Who wants unification? And who wants verses? A simple question. Type verses in the chat if you want verses. Type UNI unification if you want unification. Or use your emotes to show unification or verses. It's a simple verses. We're going to count from Goat versus Fish. And then we want everyone who's listening to either type that you want verses or you want unification. Here goes the verses. The count begins now. G. O. A. T. V. S. F. I. S. H. Let's see it. Goat versus Fish. We're not looking yet. Put those verses in the chat. Put those unifications in the chat. We're going to have a look. We're going to have a look soon. And we're going to see what the congregation is feeling this verses. Goat versus Fish is going to get our perception right now. And we have Metal Esquire with unification. We have Weed Pipe with unification. We have Dizzy Be Busy with unification. Having a look at the Twitch chat over here, you can look at all those unifications. Look at all those unifications. That's 3 for unification. But then we go over to YouTube. We look at YouTube, and we see that 999 LSD OCD wants verses, but BBDH 187, Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish. BBDH187 also wants unification. It looks like everyone who's made some noise in the chat wants unification except for 999 LSDOCD. 999 LSDOCD wants those verses, but Weebpipe says that Fish forgives the goat. Goat and Fish, overwhelming support. Overwhelming support for unification this verses. Overwhelming support for unification this verses. Isn't that just a celebration? An overwhelming support for the unity of GoatVsFish. Goat and Fish, we have entered a phase of unification. We've entered a phase of unification here on GoatVsFish. What a surprise. What unexpected surprise. We have entered a phase of unification on GoatVsFish. We've entered a phase of unification of GoatVsFish. GoatVsFish. No one's calling GoatVsFish. The hotline is closed. The hotline is closed, but that's okay. We're going to sing some songs. We're going to sing some songs of unification of GoatVsFish. It's time to sing some songs of unification. Time for some unification songs, Goat and Fish. Time for some songs of unification. Let's pick something. Let's pick something, Goat and Fish. Let's pick something, Goat and Fish, and we'll change it. We'll change it to a music stream just for the fun of GoatVsFish. We'll change it to a music stream just for the fun of GoatVsFish. GoatVsFish. Let's start the singing. Let's start the singing of Goat and Fish. Let's start the singing of Goat and Fish. Let's start the singing. Let's start the singing of GoatVsFish. Sounds a bit sad, doesn't it? But don't worry, it's not. And Goat and Fish. Imagine me and you, I do. I versus you all day and night. It's a big fight to think about the goat you verse. Oh, GoatVsFish. Let's try that once more. Imagine me and you, I do. I versus you all day and night. It's a big fight to think about the goat you love and verse him tight. So verse together. If I should call you up and best a dime and say that you belong to me and ease my mind, imagine how the verse could be so very fine in unification. I can't see versing nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me versus the skies appear blue for all my life. Goat and fish and goat. No matter how you're on the fence, it's written wrote. The only one for goat is fish, and fish for goat in unification. I can't see me versing nobody but you for all my life, for all my life. When you're with me, goat and fishy, verses are true for all my life. Goat and fish and goat, no matter if they're on the fence, it's written wrote. The only one for fish is goat, and goat for fish and unification. Now goat. Goat and fish and goat, no matter how they're on the fence, it's writ and wrote. The only one for fish is goat, and goat for fish in unification. Let's hear it, goat. Let's find that verses. That's not the verses. We have to get these bleats. Let's go versus fish. Goat versus fish and goat versus fish. Goat versus fish and goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. And how is the verses in unification? In unification. About that's the verses. Come on, fish. In unification. And how are the fences? So verses together. Celebration, celebration! Celebration for unification! Celebration for unification. So that's one song of unification. But let's find some more. Let's find some more, Goat and Fish. Let's find some more songs of unification. Goat versus Fish. The streamer song list is open. We believe that you can make song requests. So why don't you make a song request if that's something that you want? If you want a song request. Goat versus Fish. Well, let's do that versus. Sometimes a unification is really about a goat and fish who decide that they're only going to versus one another forever. So even the unification can be about a versus. A unification can really just be about a versus of a goat and fish who want to versus together forever. Kind of like this one. We haven't played this in a few verses. Let's try it. Oh, you can versus with the goat who gives you the eye and lets you hold him tight. You can smile for the fish who held your fins beneath the pale fence light. But don't forget whose verse is the goat and in whose arms you're gonna bleat. So Marlin, save that last verses for me. Save that last verse for me. Save that last verses for me. Oh, I know that the music's fine like a sparkling wine. You go and have your fun. Laugh and sing, but while we're apart, don't be giving your verses to anyone. So don't forget who's taking your home and in whose arms you're gonna bleat. So Marlin, save that last verse for me. You can prance, go and carry on till the verses are gone and it's time to float. And if you ask if you're going all alone, then they can take you home. You gotta tell them no. Don't forget whose verse is the goat and in whose homes you're gonna bleat. So Marlin, save that last verses for me. Don't forget whose verse in that goat and in whose arms you're gonna bleat. So Marlin, save that last verses for me. So Marlin, save that last verse for me. Celebration for unification, celebration for unification. Yes, that was a classic versus. That was classic verses. Oh, are you fish, are you goat? Are you fish, are you goat? Are you fish, are you goat? Oh no, that's a difficult verses, but we definitely should be learning that one. We definitely should be learning that one. Oh, and that verses, Goat versus Fish remembers that verses too. Goat versus Fish remembers that verses too. Goat versus fish remembers that versus too. Goat versus fish, 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 goat versus fish. That's a versus too. That's an old romantical type versus. That's an old romantical type versus. Let's do that one. We're just going to keep doing these old-timey classic romantical verses. You're just going to have to take it. You're going to have to take it. Unless you have another request for Goat versus Fish, you can make a request for Goat versus Fish. Otherwise, just enjoy the musications. Just enjoy the musications. Woke up, this verse is feeling fine. There's something special on my mind. Last night I met a new goat in the neighborhood. Now this verse is always troubles Goat versus Fish, because as we say that there is no good or evil, there's only goat and fish. So when we say that we're into something good, we think we need to say we're into unification. It was a special one. It was a special one. Let's try that. Goat versus fish. Woke up, this verse is feeling fine. There's a special verses on my mind. Last night I met a new goat. It was a special one. Oh yeah. Something tells me I'm into unification. Something tells me I'm into unification. They're the kind of goat who's not too shy, and I can tell they're into fish fry. So they first close to me like I hope that goat. Well, we already did one. So the goat verse is close to me. It was a lot of fun. Something tells me it's unification. Something tells me it's unification. Something tells me it's a unification. We only versed for a minute or two, but then they stuck close to me. The whole verse is through. Can I be falling in love? This goat's everything I've been versing of. They're everything that I've been versing of. Oh, so I swam goat home, and they held my fin. I didn't even care which one of us was gonna win. So I asked 2 verses next week. Till the I asked 2 verses forever until the verses were done. Oh yeah. Something tells me it's unification. Something tells me, something tells me, something tells me it's unification. Yes, I swam goat home, and they held my fin, and I didn't even care which one of us would win. Goat versus fish. So I swam goat home, they held my fin, and I didn't even care which one of us would win. So I asked 2 verses next week until the verses were done. Oh, something tells me it's unification. I said something tells me it's unification. Something tells me it's a unification. Something tells me it's a unification. Something tells me it's unification. There's a verses. There's a musication. There's a musication for you. There's a musication. There's a musication for the celebration. There's a musication for the celebration, and it seems that they've abandoned Goat vs. Fish. As soon as Goat vs. Fish started playing musications, they all just abandoned Goat vs. Fish. Maybe no one likes the musications of Goat vs. Fish. No, we know that's not a true verses. We know that's not a true verses. We know that you love Goat vs. Fish. We know that you love Goat vs. Fish's musications, and we're going to keep bringing you that verses because Goat vs. Fish. We can only get stronger at the verses. We can only get stronger at the unification if we continue. But we guess maybe Goat and Fish achieved unification, and then they just went to go and frolic and swim together, and that was the whole verses. But Goat and Fish, it's been 1 hour and 51 minutes of Goat vs. Fish Thursday, Goat vs. Fish in the mornings. So the verses, now that we've had a unification, the verses are not over, Goat and Fish. We've got a bit more to go still. But it's time to start wrapping things up with Goat vs. Fish. Goat versus 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 fish. If you're still here in the congregation of Goat vs. Fish appreciations your continued presence on Goat vs. Fish. It's time to sing along with Goat vs. Fish. Sing the songs of Goat vs. Fish. Goat versus 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 fish. That's Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish is wherever you are, whether you're near or you're far. Goat versus Fish, the mighty Goat Fish. Goat versus Fish is wherever you are. Oh, where have you come from? Where shall you go? Oh, what have you seen? To whom will you show? How can we learn and how can we grow? Does anyone even know? No, no, no. No, 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 no. Does anyone even know? It's fish versus goat. Know that it's fish versus goat. Sometimes you wonder if the echoing in the ear of Goat vs. Fish causes Goat vs. Fish to totally sing totally out of key for Goat vs. Fish. We'll just have to listen to Goat vs. Fish and find out. We'll just have to listen to Goat vs. Fish and find out. Well, we wish to thank you for being part of the Goat vs. Fish living stream. Looking back again, we have achieved unification. We have 12 goat, and we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fish. And we have 100 bits for a goat. And we have the verses of making noise went to fish. And we have 7, 8, 9 subscriptions for fish. But Goat vs. Fish, we think that maybe we'll give you one bonus little verses in celebration of Goat vs. Fish Thursdays. And in celebration of your dedication to the morning verses. Consider it an unexpected little treat of Goat vs. Fish, a fun little bonus pleasure of Goat vs. Fish. Consider it you know it, you love it, you hate to love it, you love to hate it. Goat and Fish. Here on the final official stream of Goat vs. Fish in the morning. This week, this first continued week of Goat vs. Fish in the mornings. Every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and sometimes on Friday if we feel like it. What if Goat vs. Fish gave you in celebration, gave you just a little bonus verses? What if Goat and Fish? What if Goat vs. Fish? What if we rolled a little bit of marbleization? What if we rolled some marbleization here on Goat vs. Fish? What if we rolled some marbles on Goat vs. Fish just as a bonus verses? Just as a bonus verses. Just as a bonus verses. Let's do a Grand Prix Goat and Fish. Let's do a Grand Prix Goat and Fish. Let's do a Grand Prix Goat and Fish. And let's do Goat vs. Fish. Can't we just add some random verses here? Can we just add some random verses? We'll do Goat vs. Fish. 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 Long shot. That kind of looks fun to Goat vs. Fish. But how about Marble Centauri? How about Marble Centauri for Goat vs. Fish? Five verses. 5 verses. And let's play, Goat and Fish. Let's play. Let's play. If you're watching on YouTube, sorry YouTube, you're going to have to go over to Twitch if you want to play this versus. Type !play in Goat vs. Fish. Bibly53, welcome to Goat vs. Fish. Bibly53, welcome to Goat vs. Fish. Bibly53, welcome to Goat vs. Fish. We're doing some marbles. We're doing some marbles here on Goat vs. Fish. Cheers to you. Cheers and celebration to you. And just like we do, we'll get some musication going. We'll get some musication going on Goat vs. Fish. And we know just the musication we want. When we're rolling around, there's only one soundtrack that really does the verses justice. Lithadora, welcome to Goat vs. Fish. Slapstick85, welcome to Goat vs. Fish. Lithadora, the Arcane Explorer, are you Goat or are you Fish? Slapstick85, are you Goat or are you Fish? The lurkers are coming out. The lurkers are coming out. The lurkers are coming out as we approach the 2-hour mark on this versus. Slapstick85 is Goat. Let's get it wrote. Lithadora is Fish. I'm a worker, so I'm a lurker. Well, Lithadora, we are so pleased. Allow Goat vs. Fish to be your motivation, Lithadora, do you feel motivated by Goat vs. Fish? Does Goat vs. Fish give you some of that energy you need to get through the day? Appreciation. Appreciation for being here with Goat vs. Fish. You're motivated? That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. And Goat and Fish, let's get started. 120 seconds to start the marbleization race. $120 seconds to start. We have Weed Pipe, we have Lithadora, we have Bibley 53, we have Slapstick 85. Bibley 53, cheers to you. Are you goat or are you fish? Avgas, celebration. Avgas, are you fish or are you goat? Welcome to Marble Rolling with Goat versus Fish. Because all of that motivation can be all right and can make us feel great, but sometimes we need just a bit of relaxation. Sometimes we need to get into the competition as the Goat and Fish roll up into a mighty ball of unification. What's going on in the mind of that unified Goat and Fish? Why, it's an ever-rolling, ever-escalating versus in which Goat become Fish and Fish become Goat. We're on a roll, Goat and Fish. It's Goat versus Fish Morning Motivation. So many streams in a row. We are on a roll, and now let's all roll together. Lithadora is in the verses. Vind is in the verses. Vind is in the verses. Vind is in the verses, and celebration and celebration. Lithadora, Goat versus Fish, Bibley 53, Slapstick 85, Weed Pipe. This is a 5-race Grand Prix. TMLZ Rules is in the verses. TMLZ Rules is in the verses for Fish.
Come to volley, do your best.
Oh, Goat versus Fish. Did we say that it's a 5-race Grand Prix? Did we say it's a 5-race Grand Prix? Well, we better get started. Because Goat versus Fish has an obligation. Goat versus Fish has an obligation. Goat versus Fish made a promise. Goat versus Fish made a promise that we have to keep. So let's get going. Let's get going with this versus. Let's get going with this versus. A real quick roll for Goat versus Fish. Let's versus. Let's versus Pog Fish. Is it wrong to think that there ought to be two separate marbles at play here, one goat and one fish? See what I did there? We see what you did there. But what we can tell you is that when it comes to marble designs, there are goat marble designs and there are fish marble designs. We believe there might be more fish marble designs than goat designs. But when you are a subscriber to Goat vs. Fish on YouTube, you can choose your designs. Let's have a look at some of the designs here. We have Lithadora, who has their own design, a freaky, magical, arcane ball of destruction as they run into the fences. We've got Bibley, and we've got Weed Pipe, who are just going all kinds of plain Jane fence balls with no goat or fish designation upon them, though that does not mean they aren't goat or fish. But let's have a look at Weed Pipe. Weed Pipe is also going plain ball, is also going plain fence ball. But we know that Vind, oh my versus, Vind is a little chicken coming out of the egg. And which came first, the chicken or the egg? False question. We thought we told you that there were goat and fish balls everywhere, but all we have is fence balls. But here comes Slapstick 85, who says, I need verses. I am Fish Julio. I need verses for my goat. AV guesses, I feel like it might settle things and we could all finally know Weed Pipe is wearing a spiffy volleyball skin. Is that the verses? Well, here's Goat versus Fish. How about, now hold it on the verses. Look at Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish with the mighty crown of Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish with the goat ball, rolling goat ball, but also with the goldfish in the fishbowl icon. It's truly Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish, it's truly Goat versus Fish. And it looks like Slapstick 85 is going in for the triumph. It looks like Slapstick 85 is going in for the triumph. It looks like Slapstick 85. It looks like it's going to be a versus. Slapstick 85 will triumph! Slapstick 85 with a triumph! Goat versus Fish coming in 6, and Weed Pipe. What happened to Weed Pipe? Slapstick 85 takes the verses. Slapstick 85. Slapstick 85. Slapstick the Goat. TMLZ Rules reached a 5-stream list. Let's type 1 for Goat. We've got 1 marble win for Goat. We're making it written. We got 1 marble win for Goat. Goat versus Fish, we have an obligation we must get to, so we're going to go real quick Grand Prix for unification. We have a 60-second countdown. Join Goat vs. Fish. Exclamation point play to join Goat vs. Fish. You have 1 minute to join the verses. You have 1 minute to join the verses. You have 1 minute to join the verses in this snowy scape. In this snowy snowscape. Vin wants to play. Bibli wants to play. And remember, Goat and Fish, if you're not subscribed to Goat vs. Fish, now is a great time to start dedicating your hard-earned first American dollars. Just do it, Goat and Fish. Just subscribe to Goat vs. Fish. And now is also a great time to join the Patreon of Goat vs. Fish. Give Goat vs. Fish $5 first American dollars a month to support the continuing morning motivational, to continue the morning motivational, to give you the motivation that you need to continue your verses. It is much appreciation. And here we go, Goat and Fish. We are now in a wintry place. We are now in a wintry place. So let's get some wintry songs. Let's get something you might not expectation. How about this? It's the Super Guitar Brothers. Are you goat or fish? We've got AV Gas and TMLZ Rules. We've got Vind, who's just looking so exasperated. We've got AV Gas, who's turning up the gas, navigating quite expertly around those little frozen fence posts, while TMLZ Rules is getting caught up, and Tyrus with 200. Appreciation for the support, Tyrus 200. Appreciation for the support. That's 200 for Fish from Tyrus. Oh, Tyrus. Your dedication never ceases to amaze Goat vs. Fish. Talk about the theme for this stream. The expected surprise, Tyrus. Always unexpected surprise. The fact that you are so consistent with your 200-bit contribution to Goat vs. Fish. It is always a surprise. And yet it is expected. Tyrus 4191 with 200 bits for Goat vs. Fish. Double the verses. Always doubling the verses. A celebration to you. Appreciation, Lysergic Freak Fish. Goat vs. Fish is amazing, and you are amazing to Goat vs. Fish. As a matter of verses, let's have a look at that verses. Look at the Goat and Fish. Look at them verses. Weed Pipe wins the verses. Weed Pipe wins the verses for Fish. But where's Slapstick? And there we have it. We have one win for Goat, one win for Fish, and look at Weed Pipe with that fishball. The Uncle Joe Show fishball. Next verses. Seconds to join. 60 seconds to join Goat and Fish. It's a quick verses. TMLZ rules. TML rules. Yes, we thought, why not? Why not? Goat versus fish. Of course, we can't just lean on the fence. We can't just lean on the fence all verses, but every now and then, maybe on Goat versus Fish Thursday, maybe after we've done our obligation of our Mon versus Tues versus, Wednesday versus, and Thursday versus streams, after all the obligation is complete, why not have just a little bit of marbleization with Goat versus Fish? Why not enjoy some verses? Easy rolling. Being motivated can be hard. It can be hard to stay motivation. Sometimes you just want to let the verses roll on like a unification. Are you goat? Are you fish? Are you goat or fish? Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish can do that. Goat versus Fish is in the lead. Goat versus Fish is in the lead. We've got TML rules. Goat versus Fish. Bibley 53, Lysergic Freak Dick Vind. What do we have here? What do we have here? That's not what Goat versus Fish wants. How about we do this versus? How about we do this versus? Goat versus Fish. How does that versus go? How about this versus? Here's something to celebration. Here's something to celebration. Goat versus Fish.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction.
TML Rules wins the verses. TML Rules, are you goat or are you fish?
Do what we must because we can. For the good of all of us, except the ones who
Fish!
are dead. But there's no sense crying over every new
Fish wins another versus.
Keep on trying till you run out of cake, and the science gets done, and you make a neat gun for the people who are still alive.
Is cake goat or fish?
I'm not even angry.
Let's do a poll.
I'm being so sincere right
Is
now.
cake goat or fish?
Even though you broke my heart and
Cake is goat.
me,
Cake is fish.
tore me to pieces,
Cake is a lie.
and threw every piece into
Fence.
a fire. As they burned, it hurt.
2-minute poll. 2-minute poll on goat versus fish. Is cake goat
Points of
or
paper,
fish?
a beautiful line, and we're out of beta. We're releasing on time, so I'm glad I got burned. Think of all the things we learned.
50 seconds to join the verses. Weed Pipe says fish cake is fish. That's a fair versus. We have 1 vote for cake is goat. We have 2 votes for cake is fish. We have 1 vote for cake is a lie fence. So much has changed in the universe, hasn't it, goat and fish? Since back when Goat vs. Fish began the living streams, the fence-demic. Dr. Get Good Gaming, welcome back to Goat vs. Fish. Are you goat or fish this versus? So much has changed. Our feelings change, our attitudes change, our motivations change. So much changes, but Goat vs. Fish remains the same. And Goat vs. Fish, oh, we've gone through phases, we've gone through crazes. But you're all still here for Goat vs. Fish, and Goat vs. Fish is still here for you. We like how you're willing to evolve with Goat vs. Fish, to change with Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish in the morning? Who could have suspected such a thing? But that's the verses we bring. We've got Weed Pipe, TML Rules, Lithadora, Lysergic Freak, Slapstick, Goat vs. Fish, Dr. Get Good Gaming, and Vind.
Well, here we are again. It's always such a pleasure. Remember when you tried to kill me twice? Oh, how we laughed and laughed.
Look at the love. And now we're going down once again into the giant spinning fleshlight. Cake is fish. Fish wins the verses. Cake is fish with 2 votes. Cake is a goat with 1 vote. Cake is a lie. Fence. For those of you watching on YouTube, the current marble rolling happens on Twitch. It happens on twitch.tv/GoatVsFish, where you type !play. We wish there was cross-platform support, but you're just going to have to let Goat vs. Fish. You're going to have to let the Goat and Fish enjoy the verses on Twitch. Enjoy the verses on Twitch for now. But if you're on Twitch, we also implore you to go to YouTube and to re-watch the VODs and rack up some watch hours for Goat vs. Fish. Dex Effects followed Goat vs. Fish. Celebration! Dex Effects! You've encountered the most motivating, unexplaining, consternating, dissipating, and effervescing stream on Twitch, and the greatest verses of unification that ever surprised you, even in its expectedness. Are you goat or are you fish? Welcome to the glorious verses of Goat vs. Fish! Goat vs. Fish is in the lead. But here comes Lithadora. Will Lithadora make the drop? Or is Goat vs. Fish going to get the drop? Goat vs. Fish gets the drop on Lithadora. Dex Effects. Are you goat or fish? This is not just a marble rolling stream. This is a way of life. This is Goat vs. Fish wins the verses. Goat vs. Fish wins the verses. Goat vs. Fish wins the verses. Celebration. Oh, we do like this versus, but we think that this versus that we might get, Goat vs. Fish might get struck if we do that versus. Goat vs. Fish might get struck if we do that versus. Goat vs. Fish might get struck down if we do that versus. So let's do this versus. It's 90s Chugger by KCWM. Goat vs. Fish wins the verses. We have 1 more rigged. Oh, it's rigged, all right. Every marble race is rigged by Goat vs. Fish. And to remind you of that simple fact, there we are. All marble races are rigged by Goat vs. Fish. In case you forgot. This is the final race of the Grand Prix. Exclamation play to join Goat vs. Fish. Exclamation play to join Goat vs. Fish. Exclamation play to join Goat vs. Fish. TML Rules, welcome. We keep calling you TML Z Rules because you have a Z in your name. You have Z, the TML Z Rules Z. And then when we see TM, we think of TMZ. So we end up saying TMLZ rules, and you just have to accept it. You just have to accept it from Goat vs. Fish. Sorry. That's just how it is. Just saying. Just saying, just playing. Just saying, you're racking up those marble wins. You're racking up those marble spins. Just saying, a question for you. Goat or fish? Goat or fish? We're just saying. We're just saying, are you goat or are you fish? We're just saying. We're just saying as we rock and roll around the planets. Bibley says, write me down for a fish today. Don't want to fence it. Very well, Bibley. Just at work stopping in. Just at work stopping in. Well, allow Goat vs. Fish, your motivational streamer, to tell you this. Goat! Celebration for Goat. Your goat is now written on the board of Goat vs. Fish. Hey, you're just at work stopping in? Well, allow Goat vs. Fish to tell you this. You may just be stopping in. But Goat vs. Fish is just stopping in too. We're all just stopping in. We're all just stopping in every Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's the Goat vs. Fish morning motivational. Listen, work can suck a fence. Work can suck a big, mean fence. There's a lot to be done. And even when it feels great, it's still quite an effort. It can still be quite a labor. There's a lot of frustrations out there. So let Goat vs. Fish know that you are a goat, and Goat vs. Fish will tell you that there's fish out there. There's fish out there that want to bring you down, Goat. But you can versus the fish. You can triumph the fish. You can win the fish. You can roll the marbles with Goat vs. Fish, because Goat vs. Fish is here to tell you that you have so much versus that you can accomplish. And that doesn't have to be work. That can be beyond work. Whatever you set your fish to, you can versus it, and you can triumph as Goat. So celebration for Goat. Enjoy your marbles. This is the last marble race of the verses, because Goat vs. Fish is just stopping in. Now, Vind, who is also in the chat, says no one can beat fish. Says no one can beat fish. But Goat vs. Fish thinks that maybe Dex, maybe just saying can beat the fish. Maybe they can beat the fish. Maybe if you're not careful. With just the right circumstances, with just the right efforts and powers, and maybe a mean resume and some experience in the field. Lysergic Freak says, no, don't beat the fish, but it's up to you now, just saying. Just saying is Goat. Just saying is Goat. And we're just saying. Welcome to Goat vs. Fish. You may think it's a silly thing, and it's true, it is. But it's also a place where you are welcome. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Vind is in the lead. Vind is in the lead and is rolling about and is rolling about. The planets were coursing through time and space. We're coursing through time and space. Goat vs. Fish is all over the place. You can see it in the planets. You can see it in the stars. You can see it. There's Just Saying, who says, I'm not qualified for toxic materials. Aww. Well, that's great, because Goat vs. Fish is 100% completely non-toxic. Although once Goat vs. Fish got on stage and someone said you were radioactive, that they could feel the power of Goat vs. Fish. Slapstick, can you? Oh, Slapstick gets fenced off! Ah! Ah! They laugh at your Fensinger laughs at your misfortune as you get fenced off of the verses at the final celebration. But here comes Goat vs. Fish, and here comes Just Saying, and here comes Lysergic Freak. Just Saying is just behind Goat. Oh, Just Saying! Oh! The fence sitter laughs at you, but not Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish would never laugh. You have the avatar as a shirt. You love it? Well, that's great to hear. That's great to hear. We love to hear it. We love to hear it. We love to hear it. Slapstick, fenced again. No! That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You're going to be okay. Oh! Oh, Goat vs. Fish! Oh, my versus! Lysergic Freak Dicks totally takes the versus. What an unexpected triumph! What an unexpected triumph! And here comes Weed Pipe. Here comes Weed Pipe at the final versus. Weed Pipe has been nothing if not consistent. Nothing if not consistent. Goat vs. Fish. You took me with you, and Goat vs. Fish. You took Goat vs. Fish with you. You plunged with Goat vs. Fish into the great abyss. The great mystery. Goat and Fish, we appreciate you joining us. Let's finish the Grand Prix. Let's finish that Grand Prix. Lysergic Freak Fish takes third. Celebration. Nice versus Fish. Weed pipe for Fish. Weed pipe takes the Fish. The Fish are winning this versus. The Fish are getting big marble versus. This unification is being dominated by Fish. It's still a unification. We're still in unification, but it's a Fish-dominant unification. Please be Goat versus Fish. 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 But it's TML rules. TML rules takes the versus. TML rules. Goat versus Fish took you with us, and we brought you triumph. We brought you glory for Fish. 3 big fish winners. 3 big fish winners here on Goat vs. Fish Thursdays, and celebration, appreciation for joining Goat vs. Fish. Appreciation for joining Goat vs. Fish. That's the verses, that's the stream, Goat and Fish. But before we go, a shout out to all of our patrons, a shout out to all of our Patreon patrons, because we know that YouTube and Twitch, they take a few verses. YouTube and Twitch, they take a bite, they take a slice. But here, we celebration the Patreon patrons who donate even $1 to Goat vs. Fish, $5 a month to Goat vs. Fish. Karmic, Prue Lawrence, Atrolete, Sourdough, Watt9807, That One Bull Guy, Tugger Rugger, Drew John, Hogrim, Eldergrown, Uber Kitten, Mamajo Vramajo, Standard Average, Ben Bird Person, Jimmy Wrench, and the Quaxinator. If you want to be honored, if you want your Patreon honorings, the honor of Goat vs. Fish, join the Goat vs. Fish Patreon. Join the Goat vs. Fish Patreon for $5 American dollars a month, or even $1 American dollar a month, and support the continued creation of Goat vs. Fish live streams and Goat vs. Fish content and Goat vs. Fish. And J-Sticks just passed by a car that said fences. Aww. Well, let's just say there's still a lot to be done in the universe of Goat vs. Fish. Celebration to our Patreon patrons. You mean the verses to Goat vs. Fish. All Goat and Fish are special to Goat vs. Fish, but these patrons, let's just say that they're slightly more special. Let's just say it. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Who knows? Thank you for joining Goat vs. Fish. YouTubers, we'll see you next verses. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Goat vs. Fish. 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Goat vs. Fish morning motivations. Will there be a Goat vs. Fish stream on Friday? Sometimes, maybe. If you motivate Goat vs. Fish, tune in next Monday, where we're going to have a musical guest, where a musical guest has said they're going to appear and be a little backup band for Goat vs. Fish. We're expanding the production, we're making it a bigger versus. It's going to be a great versus, and you were here at the beginning, you're here to witness the whole thing. Now, if you're still on Twitch, Goat vs. Fish wants to tell you that there's still time for you to get over to YouTube, just for the sake of liking the stream, commenting on the stream, sharing the stream, giving us a little bit of watch time. Goat vs. Fish posts Burned Fish Celebration for Fish. Goat vs. Fish is posting the YouTube link in the chat. And the final verses, we end in unification. We've got 100 bits for Goat. We've got 5, 10, we've got 14 Goat. We've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15 Fish. We have 6, 7, 8, 9 subscriptions for Fish. 9 big subscriptions for Fish. 1 marble win for Goat. 3 marble wins for Fish. Fish has won the verses of the noise, the verses of exclamation, perhaps we could call it, the verses of exclamation, because Fish yelled, "Fish!" And 200 bits for Fish, and 200 bits for Fish. That's the verses. Fish won 2 verses this week. Goat won 1 verses. We ended unification, and we'll see you on the next verses of Goat vs. Fish. YouTube, we'll see you. Celebration.